All right, this is our before shot. We're going to be replacing this ceiling light with this lightweight LED light, and I'm going to show you the process so you can see if this is the right light for your project. First, I'm going to make sure that the power is off, and I'm going to remove the old light. Okay, next thing, I'm going to take this old mounting bracket off of the junction box, but I am going to save these screws because I found that in most cases it was easy enough to just go ahead and hang on to the old screws. Here is the light. I've unwrapped it, and now you can see there's this little mounting disc. This, you're going to untwist it and remove it right off the light. And this is the thing that you're going to be mounting up to the ceiling, putting the screws through these. What I love is that you don't really have to be precise because you can move it around and you can adjust it. One word of warning is when you tighten these screws down, make sure that you don't tighten them really hard because it is plastic. It's going to flex, and you don't really need to tighten them a lot because it's very, very lightweight. So it probably doesn't even weigh a pound. So make sure that you're mindful of that as you are mounting this on the ceiling. One other little change that I would recommend with this is it comes with this kind of cord trunking around it. And I found it much easier to separate these just a little bit more. Here you can see that I have separated these just a little bit. It gives me a little more room to work with, and I found that I could do the project more easily. So these are the little these are the connectors for the wires. So all that you have to do, it's a little hard to do one-handed, you'll have two hands, and you go all the way up 90 degrees, which is hard for me to do one-handed, but I'll go ahead and do that and show you what it looks like once they're up. Okay, so here's what they look like when they're up. So go ahead and pull them all the way till they get to 90 degrees and they'll kind of lock. So then you're going to be putting one of the wires, this is the orange wire, and you're gonna go ahead and push it all the way on till it stops at the end. And then you're gonna push your little connector down and it's going to lock it in place. And I just give it a tug and make sure that it is in place. And then the other one, you're gonna do the exact same thing. This is what's gonna connect to the white wire. And go ahead and I just slide that on. I found it easier to actually slide the connector onto the wire than to push the wire into the connector, if that makes sense. So I'm checking the connection, that's on there, it's not gonna go anywhere. Then all I have to do is make sure that once I have my mounting bracket up, then I'm ready to make the connections. Okay, now I'm ready to put the mounting bracket on top. Make sure you have the flat side facing the ceiling because the little connectors, you can see them right here, those little edges, they have to be facing down so that they can connect. You're going to put your two wires through the connectors, so they need to be run through, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use the screws from the old fixture to connect this to the light fixture, and I'm just gonna put them into those little slots right there. So now I have this up in place, and you can see that I have these in the little grooves, and it can kind of move around, and then you're gonna go ahead and tighten this up so that you get it exactly where you want it to be. Okay, now I've got this. It's not super tight. You'll notice it's not really flexing or moving. I don't want to crack this, but it's just on here so it's not wiggling around. That's enough. That's all I need. Now we're going to make the connections with the wires. Okay, and then you are simply going to take the wires, you're gonna put the black wire into the orange terminal here, and then you're gonna put the white wire into the other one. And I'm gonna need a hand to hold my camera while I do this, so I think I'm just gonna show you the end after I've put these together. Okay, now my connections are made, and I am going to curl up these wires and put them up above the mounting plate. Now we're to the final step, and we're just going to push this up to the ceiling, and you wanna find that spot where it kind of locks in, and you're just gonna rotate it until it locks. So I just used both hands to push this straight up to the ceiling, making sure that it was locked into the mounting bracket, and then I just twisted it clockwise, rotated it with both hands, and then I felt it kind of lock, and now it's not going anywhere. And let's go see what it looks like now that it's fully installed. And here we have the completed installation, and I don't know if you can tell, but this room is so much brighter than it was before. It just really transformed the look of the whole room, and I'm really happy. These are a great value. They are really nice bright white. Oh, one last thing I wanted to mention is you can change the color of the light. There's a little switch. I went ahead and left this at 4,000 Kelvin. That's a light color that I like a lot. So that was perfect for me. but there are a few different settings. You can go warmer than that, or you can go cooler than that. So this is kind of the medium setting, and it looks great.